Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm just going to talk all about my au pair experience here in France and a little bit about the process beforehand, so hope you find it useful and enjoy. So a little bit about me. I'm 25, my name's Charlotte, I'm from the north of England and I've been an au pair here already for 3 months in the French Alps. So first of all I'll talk you through how I got the job in the first place. So basically I used a website called Au Pair World. It's pretty easy to use, I just use it on my phone and you just create a profile about yourself, about your work experience, put up some relevant pictures, a little bit about your hobbies, things that you like, and you can also select the countries where you'd like to get an au pair job and some different preferences like that. So I made this profile a couple months before I was wanting to be an au pair because I had some plans to be in Thailand for 2.5 months and then come back just before Christmas, and then straight after Christmas I was trying to make a plan of what to do next basically that involved travelling, getting a job abroad somewhere, so being an au pair seemed a good thing to do at this point in my life. So once I'd made this profile on Au Pair World, I kind of left it for a little while because first of all I didn't actually know if this was going to be a legit website, if I was actually going to get something from it, but I thought why not make a profile and then just leave it for a little bit. So basically I checked back in a few weeks and I actually had loads of messages from different families all reaching out to me based on my preferences and based on like what I'd written on my profile and about my job experience. So this actually got me really motivated and thinking like maybe I can actually make this happen. So then I narrowed it down to some of the families that I was really interested in, so like things like how many children they've got, the age of the children, the location, and things that they're offering as well. So like how much pocket money per month, that's what they call it with an au pair wage, and other things like is it in a city, is it in the countryside, what country is it in, because one of the things for me, I definitely wanted to be in a French speaking country. So after looking at a few more families, I decided that I definitely wanted to be in France somewhere. My main reason was to learn French really, and I've had a lot of job experience working with children, so this was something that tied these things in really well together. Travel opportunities, learning French, and working with children. Some I wasn't so interested in, mainly for the location, because at this point I'd wanted to be in France and I had a couple in like Belgium and Canada, but I think I wanted to be kind of close to home and France was where I wanted to be. So I actually had a couple options right at the last minute, right at the time when I was wanting to decide which host family to choose. I had one family in Monaco, one family here in the French Alps, and honestly they were both so different, I really didn't know what to choose, but I think they were both offering French lessons, both a similar amount of money. It was really just the location that I needed to make the decision on. So the family that I went with here in the French Alps, they were communicating really well with me and they showed quite an interest that they really wanted me, and I didn't have like a time limit of how long I wanted to be an au pair for. I was kind of leaving it open, and basically they needed somebody that could kind of come most of the year, so about 9 months, so that's what I signed up for. Here I am, so I've got a few more left and I'm doing well with my French. But so some other things you want to consider through Au Pair World. You can also reach out to families, like you can search things like based on location, based on your preferences as well on your profile, like you can find families as well and get in touch with them. So what I found helpful was like FaceTiming the families a couple times, so like you could meet the kids over FaceTime, ask any questions you want to ask. Some things I wanted to know were like, do I get any holiday? Do I need a driving license? Sometimes a driving license is required for the job because you need to take the kids to school or to any extracurricular activities they have. Sometimes they don't need a driving license at all and maybe the school's walking distance, stuff like that. So things like that are things that you want to consider as well. I'll tell you one thing, like I was actually really scared to choose a family that required a driving license because I don't know why, I was just like scared of driving on the other side of the road because in the UK we drive on the left, but actually I'm here and I've been driving now. I've been driving both of their cars. One of them is like really big and automatic and everything's on the other side, and then the other one is like kind of small, a bit like the car I had for a year. but everything, obviously all the rules are backwards. What was scaring me the most was like roundabout rules. But actually I'm feeling very confident with the driving, and I'm proud of myself that I've come this far, because at first I was pretty scared. But anyway, that's one thing you might want to consider, whether you've got a driving license or not, or whether you would like to choose a job which requires you to drive. Anyway, so other things to do with the families that they include. Being an au pair is kind of supposed to be this cultural exchange. It's not fully like the job of a nanny. I think the difference is that an au pair means that you're coming to embrace the culture and learn about the family's culture and exchange parts of your own culture as well. So it's a little bit about this, and because you're coming here for the experience to live probably in a different country to where you normally live, and learn a bit about the culture of the family, as well as all your responsibilities of looking after the children as well. So I'd say things that you want to think about when you're choosing a family or you're putting down your preferences. Definitely want to think about the location, also how long you want to be there for, because if I wanted to come here without a visa, I would have only been able to stay 3 months, so I had to go through the visa process, but that allowed me to stay longer, and I've actually got a 10-month visa, which was worth it in the end, even though the visa process is a little bit of a pain. Other things you want to consider, like how many children you're happy with looking after, and also the age range of the children. Before this job, I'd had a lot of experience with like primary school children. Probably 7 was the youngest, all the way up to 18 at different summer camps in different countries. So I actually went with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So this was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but it's actually worked out really well, and it's a good age to be able to be communicating in French when your French isn't fluent straight away. So like the little boy, the 2-year-old, he's obviously learning to speak. He's learning French whilst I'm also learning French, which is quite funny. And the 4-year-old's level of French, I can understand her a lot of the time. So it's actually a really good age if you're wanting to learn the language. It's just a little bit different to older kids, definitely. So there has been challenges, but actually I'm pretty happy with the ages in the end. Now I'm very experienced with nappy changing, bath time, nap time and all that. And I wasn't so much before, so now I've got that experience in the bag. Yeah. Other things you want to consider, what country you want to go to. So I chose like countries that were French speaking. This was like a requirement for me. I wanted to learn French. So like have a think about if you want to be close to home, what part of the country. So basically I'm in the countryside, basically in the middle of the mountains, but honestly I'm loving like the mountains here, and the location is just gorgeous. So I'm enjoying a little bit of a mountain lifestyle for a little part of my life, so it won't be forever. But I'm enjoying it. But obviously there are disadvantages about not being able to get around too easily. Luckily there's airport transfers, so if I want to go into Geneva, I'll get an airport transfer. Also you want to think about or ask the families, if you found some families that you're interested in, you want to ask what's included. So things you want to find out is like how much money per month are they going to pay you. It's normally pocket money, it's not really considered a real wage, because it's more, you're doing it for the experience, you're doing it for like the cultural experience, it's not for the money. And so yeah, you want to find out how much they're willing to pay a month. Other things like what's the accommodation arrangements like. So I've got my own room in the same house as the family, which I really enjoy because then I'm fully immersed living in the house with a French family, and this has been great for me to learn French, to always be listening and translating their French, and it's been a good way to learn. But some au pair families, they might provide their own little apartment for you. I met some other au pairs that actually had a little shared house, and then 2 of them also got given a car from their au pair families, and then they drive to and from the family's house when they were needing to go to work. However, mine's a bit different because I'm in the house with the family. Also things like what else is included. So with my au pair situation, they've been really generous with me because they've paid for my phone contract whilst I've been here, my health insurance, and they've given me an iPad and let me use Netflix as well. So some things like that were a massive thing at the start that I was really grateful for, that helped me settle right in and like get used to living in a new country. for a while. And also things like food. So obviously I'm living in the same house as the family. The family will do the shopping. Sometimes I'll go to the shops with them and I'll just let them know if there's anything I need. And part of the deal is food and accommodation is included basically. And then you get your pocket money a month. Some things I wanted to know as well, like some questions that I asked were if there was opportunities nearby to be able to earn your own money. So they mentioned that it would be easy to pick up babysitting shifts, other things like that. So actually when I came in the winter in January, it's April now, it's just about finished with the winter season. In the winter I definitely managed to find a lot of babysitting shifts and they pay you in cash, so that's really handy. I've also managed to find extra work when I'm not needed as an au pair. Just through Facebook groups, I've actually just posted a little about myself and what kind of work I'm looking for. So I'm hoping to pick up some work helping out with a social media of a business in the little village nearby. So that's something I'm hoping to do, which will only be a few hours a week. But it'll definitely top up my funds whilst I'm out here. So other questions you might want to ask your family is stuff like, what are your hours like? Like how many hours will you be doing a week? And what will your days off and your holiday look like? So this was something I was interested in because I wanted to go home one point during my time here just for a family holiday. So I made sure that I told them that at the start, like, is it possible for me to take a week off in the summer, blah blah blah, and that was all decided at the start, which was good. And they let me know that I would be getting 2 days off a week, and they kind of told me briefly about the hours. So basically my main job role wasn't to take the kids to school. I think a lot of au pairs that I've met, they'll take the kids to school and then they'll often have a few hours off, and then they often work the evenings doing bath time, bedtime, dinner time, helping around the house, stuff like that. But my hours feel slightly different. I'm kind of mainly just doing daytimes, which is nice because then I have my evenings free and then I still have my 2 days off a week. Yeah, so these are things that maybe you want to ask if you're getting in touch with your au pair family, and things that you want to make clear at the start, like what exactly are your requirements as an au pair. But anyway, if you have any questions of being an au pair, if you're hoping to be an au pair in the future, I've added a link to my Instagram and my travel Instagram. You can message me on there, or if you've got any questions, just put it in the comments and I'll try and answer. I've also made a couple of videos of what it's been like living in the French Alps through winter and spring, and also my first few weeks here. So I hope you found this helpful, and if you're going to be an au pair in the future, best of luck with everything. Hope it all goes well for you, and thanks again for watching this video.